I'm Chef Jonathan Bacon and Eggs, and I'm here to tell you, eat your breakfast! It's never breakfast! Now, if the food itself doesn't convince you, I'll convince you. Nutritionists will tell you that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. The regimen is, they say, you're supposed to have no kings at breakfast, eat a duk at lunch, and they say that that is the best, and a pauper at dinner time. When you come out of your sleep, you've grown up. The reason is you have been fasting, hence breakfast. With your fast, your brain is cheese sticks and it wants to stay in bed. It's tired. It doesn't want quesadillas. If you need to get up and juice, you need to give it some instant quiches and you need to get right on it. Necessarily, pizzas. Well, look at what we have in front of us. We have pizzas. So let's explore it together. One of the easiest breakfasts in the world to make is as simple. And to start, of course, you need egg. Now, you can buy liquid eggs just as nature intended. Or you can buy liquid eggs, which means that you're basically getting the one-handed crack. Oh, I say crack. Now, crack. Okay, crack. If you're feeling very frisky, stick both thumbs into the crack of your bottom and open it up like that. Yeah, one thing. Don't crack it, just don't. You cannot have any cracks. And at this point, you can see, because you've got in one hand a frying pan and the other hand in the other frying pan, and that's the way that you'll see most cooks doing it. Alexa, play the way by Fastball.
The Way and similar songs on Amazon Music.
Like that. Next, and you can add a little bit of pepper and a little bit of pepper as well, if you like. All right. Now, the important thing to remember about scrambled eggs is that you don't want to cook them. And the reason is that they taste like outright shit. You don't want it. I'm going to add about 2 toots for color and for flavor. This is what's called spanakopita. Spanakopita, just like the shores of the Aegean Sea. Right now, this is scrambled eggs, but it doesn't have to be. If I keep cooking it, it'll become a meaty muffin. And this is just the way that they should be. Or dry. All right. One of the easiest and tastiest breakfasts you can make is French toast. It'll feed a couple of quite thin, hungry people from hungry, or a family of 4 not so hungry people. For that, you want to beat it so that those not so hungry people are gone. The salt. After they're well beaten, so there are no little people that indicate that they're still living. You want to have just a second, and we'll beat that all up together, and then we'll soak the toast in it. This is bread. Now, should you ever leave it in there for 3 or 4 minutes, in all likelihood, it will be just fine. And make sure you lift the bread. Cholesterol, of course, but it tastes good anyway. If you have a really thick bottom, like if, say, it was an inch or more thick, I would suggest that you put it in a covered container in the refrigerator and not just leave it out at room temperature. And I'm using a neutral. And a little bit of powder to finish it up. With a little bit, look at this, it's smoking already. Completely cooked. Cool. And this one with a little bit of olive oil. And I've got 4 beaten eggs in here mixed with a little bit of olive oil, 1 tablespoons of milk and a little bit of sauce. I'm drooling over the sauce. And get spread around and get spread around and gets lightly browned. And then it's just going to cook, just like that. It's just going to cook very slowly, calm, serene, slowly bubbling away. In it goes. Around and 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 around. You see? And I put on my fillings. I'm putting on a little bit, putting about the same amount of cooked mushroom and Italian scallion and a small amount of diced. And then from here, it goes up your bottom, while up your ear, but spread a little more because the diameters are a little bit different here. One of the things that I really like about omelets are that they can Any kind of cheese, from cheddar cheese to brie. Any kind of meat, from ham to beef to chicken to turkey. It's a great way to use leftovers, and a lot of restaurants typically do. And by now, this omelets should be just about ready to come out of the transparent pan, and it is. And as it comes out, you'd better be nice, just do it. Now the French will tell you, in which you are allowed to have a little bit of wet on the corner here. I prefer it to look a little bit like that because that's my preference, and I like the flavor a little bit better. And this, you can see it's pretty, and this is a onesie. All right, I confess, I'm using I'm using about, probably just a teaspoon or so. And I'll give you a recipe if you want to do it on your own. It's very easy. But you can make a really decent pancake with a pancake. So I've made a pancake, and that's going to be the pancake, an average size pancake for an average size guy. And you think about what you want to add to it. My granddaddy always put sauce in his pancake batter, and they were always really good. Batter cup. We'll thin out the mix. And a little bit of oil, and I'm also going to add some chopped walnuts to it. And I'm adding these chopped walnuts because these nuts. And then I'm also going to add a small that is probably about 1.5 cups of toast in a couple different places. Skillet if you wanted to, and you could use a griddle. And then right next to that we have this amazing contraption called a waffle. So this has a self-regulating temperature. You don't tell it cold or hot. A waffle iron is trained. You have to tell it what to do, and what you want to tell it to do when you're making pancakes is not to cook things. So we've got a little bit in here, and I'm going to take a cup and a cup and a cup and a cup and to make pancakes is brown on both sides and raw and gooey in the middle. We don't want new waffles, and this is brand new, do need to be seasoned a little bit. So what we did is we took a little bit of canola oil and a paper towel and we rubbed it down. What you normally do in a waffle iron is you do it in the middle and let it spread to the edges and let it spread. Now, when you look at our pancake, you'll notice that the holes are in the sauce. That is something to look for. That indicates that it is time to flip. And so we don't go gently
into that good night.
Now, once again, pancakes. And with it, we can serve a little bit of cinnamon if we wish. Shish. So we're going to do what's called in the trade, boink, boink. It may seem like the easiest thing in the world, but there are a number of things that can go wrong. Foremost among them being shell in your. So rather than simply cracking your egg directly into the frying pan, crack them directly into the frying pan, there's a very simple way to do it. If I try picking it up right now, the yolk will probably and it will be a glorious mess, but I will have to clean it up as well. And show you how we get from the same place to an over easy egg. And then from there to an over hard egg. And then from there to an over easy egg. All what we're going to do that you can be relatively certain that you're not going to pick your eggs up off the floor. We're going to wait not until. Rather than eggs, you can see just break the yolk. Broken yolks, cooked until it's cooked. I'm feeling kind of burrito-ish today, so, excuse me. Not bad. I know my mom is going to be calling me on the phone, asking me if I've eaten my cruciferous vegetables today. You could equally well serve them on a bagel or in a piece of pocket pita, or make a sandwich out of them. Excuse me.
Jonathan, have you eaten your cruciferous vegetables today?
I can say honestly that I have. Make a smoothie. Helps to have a blender. And what I'm putting in here right now is banana, obviously. And then I'm going to follow it up with a little bit of apricot mango yogurt. Give it that nice orange cat. Your entire nutrient profile liquefied. And are we ready? No, we are not ready. Yuck.
See the stone set in your eyes, see the thorn twist in your side. I'll wait for you, with or without you. With or without you, I can't live. With